And away we go.
Away we go.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing? It's Friday.
It is Friday.
You know,
TGIF.
TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday.
That's right.
That's right. Welcome back to another episode of All in a Day's Work, everybody. How y'all doing? It's Trip.
And I'm Lucas.
Glad to see you here with me, buddy.
Thank you.
It's been rough out here. I ain't seen you. It's been about a week and a half, right?
Week and a half.
Week and a half. Usually see you once a week, but I've been.
Well, you usually see me on the days that I work, so it's.
But you haven't been working, so.
Well, no.
My man just took a vacation.
There was a misunderstanding at work, and I was removed from the schedule after I called off, and then you called off the day before that. So it's been at least a week.
It's just been a confusing week.
Well, and not just in work. I mean, everything's confusing now. So there's a lot of new mandates coming out. There's a lot of new.
Tell me about it, bro. It's absolutely confusing.
Yeah, it's craziness going on. And then because of the mandates, we don't know what's going to happen with all the public service workers. We don't know what's going to happen with just life in general, man. We got people, we don't know what businesses we're going to be allowed to go into. It's craziness.
It's absolutely crazy. And I think for a lot of people, the idea in the workforce that they're going to have to be vaccinated or lose their job by a certain day coming into fruition is starting to it's really starting to wake up, and people are realizing like, hey, this is a real thing. This is actually happening. And we've been talking about this for a little while.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's there's a lot of confusion going on out there, and it's so much for unity, right?
Well, it's concerning, and yeah, absolutely, so much for unity. It's concerning. Yeah. Like this, of all the things that we have going on in our life, this is a prime example of when we should be coming together as people.
100% agree. 100%.
At least in my mind.
You know, but like with anything else, if what seems to be happening a lot these days is if you don't agree with me, then we can't be friends.
And that's the exact opposite of what we've been preaching since the beginning.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of division going on in right now in the country, and it's borderline depressing, man.
Borderline.
Borderline.
Hey, can you turn up the volume for our playback just a little bit, please? Thank you. Borderline.
Yeah, it's borderline depressing, man.
Don't dismiss this. Let's talk this for what it is.
It's borderline depressing, you know. Like for me.
For you, okay. Let's go on. Explain that.
I can only speak from personal experiences.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's going on with you in your borderline depression? How is this affecting you?
Well, you know, for me, somebody that doesn't really go places, you know, it doesn't really affect me very much. Outside of work, I order all my groceries online. It gets delivered to my doorstep. The only place I go to is the gym, and the only time that I have to follow the rules is in the gym, and only wear it when I walk into the gym, the mask.
Or at work.
I don't wear a mask at work.
But you're going to be following the rules soon. Get vaxxed or get out. That's the new campaign.
Then I'm heading for the door.
Get vaxxed or get out.
Nah.
You know, that's not what it is? Is that what they're going to say? I mean,
so I got this article sent to me from the Military Times talking about they had a spike in COVID deaths, right, over the last couple months. And they boiled down the numbers. I think it was like 500 COVID deaths and out of so many troops. And it broke down to 0.002% chance of dying from COVID-19, right?
In the military or just?
In the military, which is slightly, I think it's about the same average. It might be slightly more or less. I can't remember what the article stated. But I text back the person that sent it to me. I was like, hey, that's a 0.002% chance of dying from COVID-19. I think I'll take my chances. Not like I'm going to have to choose because I'm not even in the military, so it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. But here's what's so strange. You saw some of the reaction from the latest exposure to the mainstream media, right?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I have not, over the last couple days, I've not really looked at the news.
No. I was talking about the CNN one in particular. We watched this morning.
Oh. Yeah, I caught a little bit of that, the exposure, but I mean,
What did you think about that?
it's good. It's good that CNN is finally getting exposed for the.
Damn, man, you just called him out, huh?
Yeah, it's good that CNN is finally getting exposed for the propaganda, falsifying information, and
Thank you.
outright lying that they're doing.
Thank you. Outright lying.
Yeah, like
Lying. Absolute lying. And,
And-
and yet we get in trouble for talking about it.
yeah. What's strangely funny is that most of logical thinking Americans already knew that CNN was a propaganda organization and was pushing out false information or at least missing context information. But it's good that they're finally being exposed for all that stuff that they're doing to a great majority of people.
Well, it makes you question, right? Like, if you're going to go to such lengths to lie about something affecting one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this particular instance, like, what are you not telling us about the real important things that are happening
Absolutely.
that you're reporting on? What are you hiding? And what are you making up? Like, this, you know what I'm saying? Like, this raises a lot of questions.
When you are a organization that's primary purpose is to push out information and news, your word and your testimony, so to speak, is what draws your consumers, right? So if you get caught lying, that just breaks down the whole system. Like, what else are you lying about? What else are you not pushing out?
If you're a journalist, don't you have a moral responsibility to put out accurate information to the people?
I'm pretty sure there's like a code or something that
like an ethics code or
something like that only push out good, proper, truthful information.
Right. Or if you're going to be labeled as like a legitimate news organization. Now, if you want it to be known as just like a media platform, like we're just putting out we're just like a movie. I'm just making a movie, for instance. Like, that's not supposed to be taken serious, right? It's just a movie. Right, there has to be different levels within the media, right? Like, I don't know how it works.
And I think that's what's the biggest difference between a platform and a publisher, right? Whereas a platform, you're allowed to hold different opinions. You're allowed to have everybody have a say so. Whereas a publisher, you're responsible for the information that you push out or that you allow through your organization.
Well, that's interesting then, because what if you're working with a publisher, like you're a mainstream, but you utilize a platform to push out your information?
Well, again, since your organization is a publisher, if you push out your information on the platform isn't held responsible for the information that you push out. You are as the publisher.
Was that Act 230 something 230?
Like 235 or 231 or something 233. It's
that protects the platform from being held
responsible for the information. Yeah.
I mean, that's real important as a platform, but like I said before, if you're no longer just a media platform for entertainment and you're being utilized as a tool, a utility, then you would be subject to all of those requirements because you're no longer just a media entertainer. You're a publisher. You're published out because you're pushing out this in a certain way.
Absolutely.
So then you would be subject to section 2. I think it's 230, whatever the hell it is.
Whatever one it is. So,
it's worth looking up.
Absolutely. And since we're on the topic of publishers, I think this is a good segue to talk about something that I find very, very interesting that I haven't seen a whole lot of news coverage since it first was implemented.
Oh, please tell.
And it was this thing in California that they're doing, and it may have spread to different parts of the country, but it's where they're housing biological males with biological females. And now
housing who's housing where?
The jails.
Oh, wait. California jails are housing biological males and biological females.
Yes. And
for what reason?
Because that thing that they signed in that says that you have to house prisoners according to their gender identity.
Not gender assigned at birth.
Exactly, it's their identity.
Wow.
And from what I understand, and I may be mistaken on this, but I don't think I am, you don't have to have any sort of history with changing your sex. You don't have to be on hormones for a certain amount of time. You don't have to have any sort of reconstructive surgery or anything like that. You can literally say, I identify as this gender, and then they have to move you.
Wait. You're serious. So if I were to be arrested in California and go to jail,
Yeah.
if I just said me as I am right now, I identify as a female and I want to be housed with the female, they have to send me there.
Yes. That's how I understand it. And I want to.
It's legal?
It is now in California. And I want to read this to you. And
wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Where have I been? This is.
I want to read you this, and I want to get your opinion on it as soon as I.
This is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense to me. I mean, y'all tell me if you're watching this. I mean, y'all tell me is does that make sense? Like, what could? How can you convince me that that's okay?
It doesn't, but I want to read this to you because I just found it. I want to get your opinion. California women's prisons anticipate pregnancy after forcing women to be housed with men. New pregnancy resources and free condoms appeared in CCWF in preparation for wave of male transfers under new gender identity law.
Wait a minute. So they already know it's going to happen. So they're like, here's some contraceptives for you. You're going to do it. Is that what they're saying? Well, you're going to do it anyways. You might as well be safe. Or
what gets me is what happens in the event that it is non-consensual, i.e., this 300-pound biological male that has a history of violent and aggressive behavior towards other males. You're going to house him into around a bunch of females that may be anywhere from 100 to 150, maybe 180 pounds, in the same cell that these women are getting housed in at night when security isn't as at its peak. We already know that male jails, there's a history of violent sexual assault.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fact.
It's
not a secret.
No, it's not a secret
by no
either.
means is it a secret.
And I've actually heard statistics that say that men get raped more if you factor that in to the rape statistics.
What do you mean?
Like when we're talking about rape statistics, it's generally male versus female, right?
Yeah.
But I heard if you factor in male on male sexual assault in the prisons, that males actually get raped more than females.
Oh, okay. I see.
Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I cannot confirm, but that's what I've heard.
Well,
so
if you're gonna put these with females, these men, you're gonna put these men with females.
Yeah.
That's gonna cause a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
The female prisoners or inmates, they're gonna have an issue with this because they're not gonna feel safe. Like, although they did commit a crime and they're in jail, they should not have to be subject to any extra assault.
Any extra assault.
I don't know.
It makes no sense. And the fact that they know that this is happening and aren't doing anything to prevent it, they're just saying, hey, here's some pregnancy resources, here's some condoms.
Right. Like, wait a minute. Like, is PR really that much more important than public safety?
Like, and that's the point that we're getting to. It's like, hey, I don't care about their safety as long as I make you feel good. It's
as long as this looks good,
it's
right?
The same thing. I heard about me and my mom was talking about this, and I don't remember what state it is in, but this female was raped in the bathroom by a biological male in school. And I believe it was in like a college, or hopefully it was. I mean, it wasn't in high school or anything like that. I mean, it's sad that it happened in general, but and he spoke out about it, and I believe he was actually arrested at like a school board. And from what I understand, this person has been accused of doing this like 2 different times.
So now this man can do the same thing to other females in jail.
Yes. Let's just say he was arrested and sent to jail. All he has to do is continue doing what he's doing. I identify as a female. Then he's going right over there to do it. Continually abuse females.
I wonder if that's the case. Let's say he were to be arrested. He goes to jail. He identifies as a female. And now, because of this, let's say a few months into, they say he has to partake in reassignment treatment or whatever. Is that legal to do? Do you think if they force him to?
I mean,
or like, are they allowed to just be like, all right, cool, you can stay identifying in this fashion forever?
I truly believe
What are
that
the stipulations?
I truly believe that if the state was to say, hey, in order for you to be assigned to go to this prison, male or female, that you have to go through either some form of reconstructive surgery or hormones, right? I truly believe that this dude would get an attorney and say, hey, that's cruel and unusual punishment.
And then he would probably get all of his sentence overturned for some crazy lawsuit or
and
this is the world we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. The world is in Gatorade. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like,
no, it makes no sense.
And
really
yeah,
does.
I get in trouble because I don't want to wear a freaking mask.
Yeah. Well, you heard about that 16-year-old, right?
What?
Grace Smith. So she was 16. It was in Wyoming. He was a junior in high school. He got arrested for violating their school's mask mandates and walked out of school because she was trespassing for violating the mask policy by police.
Wait a minute. You said this was where?
In Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yep.
A 16-year-old girl
Yep.
was arrested.
Yep. Cops came to the school, put handcuffs on her, and the dad actually filmed her walking out of the school.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Walked her for not wearing a mask.
So that's what the initial complaint was, but because she was violating policy, she wasn't allowed to be on school property, so they got her for trespassing.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You just put a criminal charge on this young girl's record.
Uh-huh. And from the article,
a criminal charge on this young girl's record for not wearing a mask. Don't give me. So just trespassing. Get out of here.
And then on top of that, they fined her $1,000.
A 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That's the charge for juvenile?
I'm assuming that charge is for trespassing because she did it 3 times.
She's trying to be in school. Yeah. She's trying to get her education.
Yep. But she didn't have a mask on.
So she was trespassing. Had she thrown a piece of cloth or this piece of paper on my face? Right?
Yeah. Crazy. This is the world we're living in,
I'm
guys.
just saying, this right here, if I had a bandana, right, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Doesn't do any good.
Yeah. I remember a time when I was in school that we wasn't allowed to wear bandanas at all because it was considered gang stuff.
Interesting. Interesting how that's changed life. This is gonna be my mask for the rest of the day.
This is the world we're living in. It's altogether crazy. It's altogether crazy.
It's absolutely bananas. This is bananas. I don't understand it.
No, it makes
Dementia Joe is up there giving a speech talking about childcare. I saw that speech. This man has no idea. He was just babbling.
Yeah,
78-year-old. He's 78, right?
I think so.
Something like that. Old as you just.
I know he's gonna be in his. I know he's gonna be in his 80s when he gets out. So I'm assuming he's 78, 79. But I also listened to part of that speech, and he got off topic so much, talking about his kids and his wife. Like,
I had no idea what he was even there talking. Like initially there to talk about.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't know, man. This is what we got, man. This is what we got. I don't know. Like, it's really hard to keep faith. It's really hard to keep hope right now.
Tell me about it, please.
And I'm a single guy with no kids, no real people relying on me, so to speak. I can only imagine what this is like for parents, for married couples.
I can tell you it's rough. It's hard. I can tell you right now that it is probably the hardest thing I have ever had to experience in my adult life. This is for sure.
And with the, did they approve the vaccines for 12 and up?
I don't know if it was 12 and up, but they said that I saw that article today that said something. I don't even have my phone. It said something about they FDA approved the booster for, what was it, Johnson & Johnson? I think it was. They approved the booster. But I didn't click on the article to read it yet. I was going to wait till we did a recording and look into it. Um, but yeah, I don't know if it was 12 and up or what. It's got to be right because that's the current thing.
Yeah,
5 to 11, and then 12 and up. You're supposed to, but
yeah.
there's no point. There's no point to even get it. Like they've been exposed. They've been exposed,
No.
and they don't want to say, hey, we were wrong.
Well, no, because nobody can admit
It's effective. It's safe and effective. It's safe and effective. Effective for a small period of time.
Yeah, because you need those boosters.
But and if you get you need to continue to get a booster to keep it that effective. However, your natural antibodies are stronger and last longer.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to talk about that.
No, because
just so you know.
You know why you're not allowed to talk about that?
Why aren't you allowed to
because
talk about
nobody gets rich off of natural immunity.
What do you mean by that? You're trying to tell me that it's no coincidence that the same companies, the biggest and most profitable companies that are out there right now, are not in our best interest for public health and safety? You're not trying to tell me that they're a for-profit company, are you?
I'm not gonna say anything, but it just so happens that all these companies that are producing all these vaccines, they are relying on the vaccines continuing to be effective. They're relying on the fact that the boosters are going to be continuing to happen because they need that COVID money. I'm not going to say that.
You can't say that.
No, that's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, if you were to say something like that, it could be conspiratorial.
Absolutely.
If you were to say that.
That's why I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you're not saying that. Yeah. Yeah, we would... Ladies and gentlemen, we're just giving you examples of what you're not supposed to talk about for risk of cancel culture and things like that. So this is just a prime example of the latest. If a YouTube channel or something were to talk about something like what just happened,
absolutely,
they could not say certain things.
Absolutely, and we need to. In this day and age, we need to make sure that we're saying the right things.
We want to. We don't
want people to get canceled.
We don't want to get canceled, but what we don't want to do is spread misinformation.
Exactly, like Dave Chappelle did.
Exactly. We want to spread right. What? Don't bring Dave into this. Leave that man out of this. He did nothing wrong.
I don't know. That's not what I hear on Twitter.
Yeah, well, Twitter is where you go to throw shit at yourself. Oh, and there goes our first curse word of the thing. Oh well. We can bleep that out. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm grown.
If you can show me a man that
no. If you can't even say it, you gotta. If you're gonna say it, you're gonna have to say it right. Show me a grown man that ain't never said the word shit, and I'm gonna show you a man that's full of shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but you butchered it. That's what you did.
Anyway.
But again, what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is if we were to, or if a YouTube show were to say something like, hey, did you know that the vaccine does not work like they initially said? You could get in trouble on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Or Twitter or Facebook.
Absolutely.
You could get in trouble. If somebody on YouTube were to say, or if somebody on social media were to say, hey, did you know that natural immunity is stronger and better than the vaccine, you can get in trouble?
Yeah, because the vaccines are where it's at. They're totally safe and totally effective.
They're safe and effective.
And you don't need natural immunity. You need to keep getting the vaccine and keep getting the boosters.
You know, I think a lot of people are starting to wake up, fool me once, shame on you. But you ain't gonna fool me again. And I'll be honest with you, when you obviously are no longer fooling people, that's when they have to start mandating, because they realize, hey, look, people are on to what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes recommendation, bribery, force. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, we recommend that you turn in your neighbors for noise violations. Hey, we will give you this much money if you turn in your coworker for a noise violation. Hey, turn in your neighbor or you can be held responsible.
You know that they've rewritten definitions for certain things here recently, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you know that the CDC has rewritten the definition for what it means to be an anti-vaxxer?
I did not know that. What
Did
did
you
they say?
know that they've recently updated it and it says anti-vax would also include, we can bring up exactly what the definition is, but it more or less says speaking out against mandates and things like that, in particular in mandates for children and things like that. It's interesting how the definition can be rewritten all of a sudden.
No, I find that very interesting.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can look this up yourself. I didn't make this up. You're welcome to look this up. I encourage you to look this up.
I think it's very interesting how all of a sudden words and definitions are getting remade
Or made up.
or made up.
Or symbols and things that I had no idea in this new woke culture that mean a certain thing.
Yeah.
When
like,
did woke culture take over
I
and
don't know.
become the law?
I don't know, man. I like I said, I find it very interesting how the people that are doing the making up of the words are calling the other side fascist.
It's real interesting, huh?
Very, very interesting. Like, hey, we're just trying to follow what the words mean, but you keep changing the definition of them, but we're the fascists.
Yeah, you can't keep changing the definition and expect everyone to keep track of what it means. Yeah. And again, who are you to be changing the definition?
Yeah, and then who are you to tell me that I have to abide by your new definition?
Well, did you take your vitamins today? Because if you didn't, mine aren't going to work. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, same thing goes for sunscreen. If you don't wear a gun, then I'm not safe.
Oh, that's right. We can't talk about that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first on All in a Day's Work. This has been our live stream here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell, do all those good things. That way you know when we go live or make any of our videos here in the future. Again, this has been a special live talk. Please be sure to share this with your friends. We have a lot more coming to you here from the studio. We're going to be doing some good recordings here today. So we love you guys.
Thank you guys.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Remember, wash your hands and all that good stuff.
A special shout out to that NASCAR driver. Let's go, Brandon.
Take care, everybody.